Stanbic Bank has posted 13.7 billion shillings profit after tax in 2024. This is a representation of 12.8% growth in earnings and comes despite the lender recording nearly 4% drop in revenue. However, it is bank's shareholders who will be smiling all the way to their banks after the lender announced a dividend payout to 20.74 shillings per ordinary share. Jimmy Mbogo now takes a look at the bank's earning and the year ending December 2024.
About the financial performance.
For Stanbic Bank, 2024 brought with it a mixed bag of both challenges and opportunities. The lender registered a decline in revenue of 3.8% to stand at 39.7 billion shillings. The volatile macroeconomic environment, coupled with high interest rates, further saw the lender register a 12% decline in credit to stand at 230.2 billion shillings. This further saw a 100 basis points decline in customer deposits to 318.2 billion shillings.
The biggest challenge there was the strengthening of our currency year on year in the month of February and March. So that contributed an 8% reduction. Local currency loans overall were growing at 4%. And for me, that's an issue we need to build on. So I am excited about the local currency growth in terms of our credit. But of course, high interest rates last year had a massive knock-on effect in our ability for customers to take in facilities. What did we see? We saw no repayments. We saw high repayments. Customer came and said, remember interest rates went to the highest 24%.
Our income statement shows a 5.1% decline in net interest income. A number that I am particularly very proud of because in the environment, in the liquidity environment we operated in, that number would have been significantly worse were it not for certain things that we did. If you look at the gross interest income went up 27%. Rates were rising, repricing was happening, especially on the market-linked instruments, and therefore that came through.
Despite the challenges, the lender posted a 12.8% increase in earnings to stand at 13.7 billion shillings, with returns on equity also rising by 0.7% to 19.3%. This further pushed up the shareholder value, with earnings per share rising by 12.8% to 34.7 shillings, with shareholders expected to see a 35.1% jump on their dividend to 20.74 shillings per share.
I'm pleased to announce that the Board of Directors has recommended a payment of a final dividend of Kenya shillings 1890 per ordinary share. I repeat, 1890 per ordinary share. This brings the total dividend for the financial year of 2024 to Kenya shillings 20.74, considering the Kenya shillings 1.84 per share paid at interim.
The bank has further announced plans to grow its loan book in 2025 between 8 to 10% by increasing its funding in key growth areas, particularly trade and agriculture. At the same time, Stanbic Executive Joshua Oigara has expressed concerns over the current geopolitical environment and the shock it may have on the lender's customer base.
So the most difficult job, speaking to African economists, is to anticipate Trump's waking up. How does he wake up tomorrow? That's the most difficult job we have. We don't have that answer. But I would say that where our biggest issue, and if you ask Edwin, our Chief Risk Officer, our biggest issue is gone around the supporting programs around the international development. USAID is a massive problem for us. It's $1 billion almost for Kenya, $843 million this year. And that's a bigger challenge. How does the sovereign finance healthcare programs?
Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.